14 minutes. So talk to me. What's your biggest struggle in school right now?
My biggest struggle, I would say, is okay, let's say maybe keeping up with classes and reading. So that's one of the
Okay.
major issues I'm facing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keeping up,
like
keeping up with classes and read. That's two things. Yeah.
yeah. So that's which other thing? That's basically it. That's one of the things I'm having
Okay.
issues with,
Okay.
like reading.
Okay. Okay. So to understand you correctly, it means you struggle finding motivation to read, right? Is
Exactly.
that
Yes.
yeah? And then the second one is classes get very hectic for you to the point where maybe it's hard for you to concentrate, or the classes feel so much you feel like you're being pulled from multiple directions and you don't know, like you just feel lost in the whole chaos of it. Is that also correct?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I would say that your problems are not unique to you. Actually, most students, in fact, if I call an average student like random from any school in the world right now, they will tell you that that is the same problem they are facing. But because of how school is designed, we don't really talk about those problems, and that's what we're doing here. So for the reading and motivation thing, it's I don't know if you've seen the latest reel, but first of all, do you have a routine that you follow through daily, or do you hate routines? I mean, you're allowed to.
I don't necessarily hate routines, but I don't have one.
Okay, okay. Now, you will need one if you want to get things done continuously. It doesn't have to be a whole like where you plan every single hour you have, because for example, classes will take like how many hours a day, like 8 or so from you
Yeah.
already, leaving you with like 16. So what are you going to do with the remaining 16? Your sleep will take like 8 from you. So that's 8 more. Right?
Yeah.
Now, with those 8 extra, you are supposed to chuck in your playtime, your rest, your, I don't know, maybe walking to and from class, you're eating, and then you're reading too. If you don't
Yeah.
have a routine that allows you to get out time alone to go and digest what was in class, what was said in class every day, it will be very hard for you to keep up with like the next one, because it's just more and more information you feel confused about. And let me tell you a secret about school. They your lecturers actually expect you to have read the material before you come for class. But they don't
Yeah.
tell you. They don't tell you. And the thing is, if you've read this material, you don't have to memorize it. Oh. Just go through the notes. If you
Yeah.
go through the note before the class, you are smarter than like 99% of the people in your class, because you already know what this lecturer is about to say. And what that means
Yeah.
is, in to an extent, you've already read, you've started your reading already. So your brain has begun to accept this information faster than your mates who are hearing it the first time. Do you
Yeah.
get? So that's one thing that you can change before the class. I'm sure your school provides the notes before the classes happen.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Great. So you will download the note, even if it's 15 minutes in the morning or 30 minutes, you sit down and just go through each one for the class. If you have a break time within, like maybe you have like 2 to 3 break, and then maybe you have maybe 3 classes before the break and 3 classes after, you can just do three before the break and just read through the note and then do the remaining three during the break. You now know what the lecturer is about to tell you. Do you understand? You are ahead of most of your classmates. That's one. In fact, what it does is it just calms you down. You are no longer stressed because you know what this lecturer is about to talk to you about. And now you have smarter questions to ask, even whether it's after the class. If you don't want to interrupt the class, it can be after. Do you get?
Yeah.
And then about motivation for reading, right? Truly, that comes when you are excited by the prospect of what you are going to learn. If you're not really excited, it's hard to. In fact, I'm sure you spend more time on the things you love than the things that you just feel meh about. Do you get? That's
Yes. Yeah.
natural. That's natural. So in order to cultivate a natural excitement for yourself, number one, this that change of beginning to read your notes before classes will make you more excited now, because you are sort of competing now with your lecturers about
Yeah.
what they're about to teach you. That's one. Then two
Yeah.
is that for your to make sure that your mojo is up, you can involve your friend. Do you understand? You have classmates and friends. Like school, I've interviewed some of the best performing students, right? And they will tell you that they could not have made it without their friends. Do you get?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you need a system that helps you so well that you can't but You can't but pass.
Yeah.
There's a chapter we have, I think chapter 7 also, studying like a professional. It also, your environment also matters. And
Yeah.
number, I talk about routine, right? If in your routine there's no space for you to go and do this studying, you will never get it
Yeah.
done. And then the latest piece of content I put out was about how you frame that routine. Instead of saying time to study and you're like, oh my God, it could be, instead, it's like, what did you learn today? So
Yeah.
imagine you've read what the lecturer is about to teach before the class. Now you've listened, and then before you sleep, you open the note again and you've read it and
Yeah.
you go and sleep. I tell you that you know this thing more than most of your classmates right now. If you now add something like testing it, like using AI, for example, that I've repeatedly
Yeah.
talked about, there are different highlights. Creating test questions for yourself based on that knowledge. I tell you that if the lecturer randomly brings up a test, you will pass that
Yeah.
test. There's no way about there's no two ways about it. You can't fail. Do you get?
Yeah.
Balancing school requires 4 things. I say this in every campus I go to: your mentality, your time, your energy, your focus. I also hammer it in this group. Once you can balance those four, you are unstoppable. And that routine aspect is not just about time. You set space for that routine to happen in your time, right? But for the things to be done, you need your energy and you need your focus and you need your mentality to be in the right place. So all these things, they work together to help you achieve the goal you want. It's small changes like this that help you. That's why I'm always hammering, oh, buy the book, buy the book. It sounds like just somebody telling you buy things, but this is legit. Like if you talk to people who have read the book, like who have bought the book or a few chapters or whatever,
Yeah.
they have only good news to tell you. Like they just made, maybe they didn't make 100% of the changes the first time they read the book. Maybe they just made 50%. They
Yeah.
send me a message and they're like so happy that they made these changes. See these 3 or 4 things I told you to go and do. This is just a tip of the iceberg. Can you imagine? So really, school is school is hackable, and it will be you dulling yourself, right? To not get
Yeah.
the best experience for yourself. This is your opportunity to prove that Omo I sabi. You get, that's what school is. Like for you, nothing will satisfy you as much as being able to achieve a goal. Like there was a problem in front of you, you got your head down, you thought of smart ways to solve it, and you solved it. Your confidence is through the roof. Nobody can stop you. Oh my god. Me, when I was in school, Kai, my parents, before, because I was failing and my parents were not happy. They were always on my neck and everything. By the time I started passing, everybody locked up. Nobody will disturb me again. Nobody.
Yeah.
Do you get anything I want?
Yeah.
I'll get it. If I want space, they'll leave me alone. If I want them to get something for me, I'll ask and they'll get it. Do you get? Because they know that okay, this boy he's bringing results. You get.
Yeah.
So for you, reading, getting yourself to read is more about understanding your like the reasons why you don't feel like reading and getting them out of the way. That's why I recommended that study chapter. There's also, yeah, it's a bunch of things, but that study chapter is just focused directly on studying. The main concepts, like I said, are those 4 things. Once you understand how to balance them for yourself, anything you want to do will be easy. And then keeping
It
up with
becomes
classes, did you see the recent post I made in the group about using certain apps that will help you balance some things?
yeah.
Okay, now that one, the book shows you also how, I think the time chapter especially talks about how to balance those things. Because what is time really? It's an opportunity or a space for you to do something. Do you get?
Yeah.
And so once you feel that opportunity with an intention, what you want to do with this time, it's now up to you to decide how you are going to get it done. Right. So that time chapter really explains, is really where most of those apps you find how to use them. But then there's
Yeah.
another one, self-maintenance. Because if I just say use apps, yes, I know people like to have a list of apps or whatever. But if I don't tell you how to use it, it's kind of complex. That's why I also add the chapters that will help there. You get, so for real. I know people try to sell a bunch of things and they say, but this is legit. Like, um, this is as good as me coming to come and write your exam for you. Pretty much, that's what that book does. Like, you can't fail once you know like what you need to do and you get any obstacle that is in your way out of the way so that you can pass. Because
Yeah.
you won't be here if you're not interested in your academics. You get, you
Yeah.
want to pass, you want to improve. That's why you're here. So I'm telling you that it's possible, it's doable, and it's small changes like these that will bring results for you. If you want, you can DM me on Instagram and then we can talk more. Recommend specific chapters that will help. We also have a diagnostic test on Instagram bio. What that does is it goes into the nitty gritty of it for you, and then tells you what I think. He also recommends chapters for you as well. Both are the same. And I mean, make it two, so nothing like you get the same results. So
Okay.
it's yeah, pretty much it's up to you. So that one you cannot do that at your own pace or whatever. Let's say it's at 2 a.m. If you text me at 2 a.m., I'm sleeping. You get so,
Yeah.
but with that test you can do it at any time. You get, and it gets you consistent results. Even if you don't want to buy the whole book, you should always like start with a few chapters that will solve your problem right now. You see the changes and you come back. It like it. Oh boy, I love it, man. I'm just happy with the changes that I see. It gives me very much like gives me so much joy. So anyway,
Yeah.
do you have any more questions to ask before we go? We have like 2 minutes. I want to go and watch Nigeria's match. Yeah,
That's just basically it, and I think
yeah,
you've really assisted me. Plus the books,
yeah,
I'll make sure to read them.
yeah. Oh yeah, now make sure you implement those changes. They will make a difference for you. This is legit. Like I can bet my liver on it. Like it's legit. You can't lose once you balance those things. So anyway, it was nice talking to you, man. We have like how many minutes left to like 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let me kind of
Yeah.
recap on what I said you should do.
Okay.
I said you should get a support system with your friends. Like
Yeah.
get a support system of friends that have the same goals as you. You should also
Yes.
make sure you are reading before your classes.
Yeah.
You need to build a routine. That one, the chapters specific to studying and time management and all that would help you, and those
Yeah.
apps as well. What else did I say? I think I said one more thing. Do you remember?
Yeah. Routine.
What? Was that?
You said something about a routine.
No, no, that's the third one. There should be one more. I think there should be one more. I can't remember. But anyway, thank God this is recorded, so we can go and listen to it after and remember what the fourth one was. But anyway, uh, those implementations, even these three alone, will make a big difference for you.
Yeah.
The chapters I talked about, chapter 7. I also talked about chapter 2, that's time management, and then chapter 12, self maintenance. It talks. Look, as much as you want to achieve all these goals and whatever, you are a human being, right? You will get
Yes.
tired. You will whatever, whatever. So self-maintenance is a system you put in place to make sure that you are holding yourself accountable. I think I've had this conversation with you before, where I asked you how are you going to hold yourself accountable. That's what that chapter 12 is for. Do you
Yeah.
get? That's what that chapter 12 is for. It helps you set up measures in place that make sure that yes, your friends are one of those measures that hold you accountable, but you personally, do you get it?
Yeah.
Everybody has to move by themselves now. So anyway, that was it, Sha. Once this, I'll check out this episode. I hope the quality is good. It gets annoying when we record it and then the quality is now bad, so it can become a podcast again. But anyway, it was nice talking to you. Thanks for showing up and giving us material for our podcast. Other people will learn from it. Like I said, it's not only you that faces these things. Other people will learn from it and they will also improve as well because you were here and asked your questions. So yeah,
Yeah.
thanks again and have a wonderful time in school. I wish you success, prosper, achieve all your goals, man. Your success is our success. That's really it.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, don't mention it, man. Don't mention it. It's my pleasure. And now, bye.
I think I
Yeah.